Okay, so let's see if we can get things started again. Um, this is the second episode of what will hopefully be many more episodes of the AI Dinosaur Chronicles. And I'll talk about why this was the second episode in a second, but I tried to do a live stream right before this. And I said I'm going to do the live stream because I can't figure out how to record. But then, like 10 seconds into the live stream, I wasn't sure if my sound is coming through properly. So, yeah, I figured I'll just record the video. And I did a little hacky setup for now, and I'll do a live stream at some point in the future. But anyways, this is the second episode of what will hopefully be many more of the AI Dinosaur Chronicles. I'm the AI Dinosaur, and I had a first episode yesterday, which I had a conversation with Chris Macias, who's running for the selection of the office of a District 76 Assembly delegate. So check it out if you haven't. We talked about some fun stuff. I think so. Now, for the second episode, I thought I'd do what I probably should have taken the time to do in the first episode, which is introduce myself. And why do I have a podcast? Or why am I don't even know if this is technically a podcast. Why am I recording videos and putting them on YouTube? So, like I said, I'm the AI Dinosaur, but what I really am is I'm a 20-plus year veteran of the IT industry, mid-40s, soon to be empty nester, and I've had generally a good career, what I would consider to be, I did things that I enjoyed doing, until a few years ago, probably around COVID, I'd say. I've more and more begun. By the way, I should mention that if any of my coworkers see this, I'm not going to mention which company I'm working for, but if any of my coworkers see this, hello. And I should mention that my views obviously do not represent the views of my employer or any of my coworkers, anybody else really, other than my views in this episode and every other episode that I'm ever going to put online. So yeah, I over the last 3-4 years, my career's not been enjoyable. Right? I've not been getting that passion out of it. But more than that, it's not even about passion. I've been feeling like a dinosaur. And increasingly so. Especially as AI has grown as a consumer tool at an exponential rate. So, at some point, maybe 2.5 months ago, probably, I guess it's around Thanksgiving. I don't know, maybe I ate a lot of turkey or something. I began this journey. And in tomorrow's episode, well, maybe tomorrow's episode, we'll see, hopefully tomorrow's episode, I'll be having another guest and I'll discuss my journey with that guest. And in the time since I began the journey, the question obviously is what is that journey, right? Well, the journey was to find purpose again, to use my best strength, which is my mind, and to figure out what maybe the next 10 to 20 years of my work life in an AI dominant world is going to look like. So that's the journey that I got started on. Like I mentioned, I'm soon to be an empty nester, with the implication there being that I'm a dad, right? And I focused on being a dad for the last how many ever years. When you focus on, the personal aspect to the extent that I did, you ignore some aspects of the professional side of things, and you pick up some bad habits from the non-professional side of things. So my journey to not be an AI dinosaur at some point involves me learning the AI space, developing new skills, and dropping some previous habits, or rather dropping some bad habits and rediscovering some good habits, and relying on my mind, because that's the thing that I know I can use most effectively. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. I'm not going to share a lot of personal information. I will say, I'm wearing a dog t-shirt. So I'm definitely a dog person. I will share that much. I have 3, and they're angels. So I guess I'm not really going to be an empty nester. But I just realized I wasn't, hopefully, I'm coming through clearly. Keeping my fingers crossed. But I should probably speak up anyways. Clearly, I'm not good at doing this. I'm the second time technically. Oh well. Yeah, I'm still here. Woo. All right, stay on the call. Yes. See, this is the hacky thing that I'm doing. I started a Google Meet, and I'm recording the screen. I gotta figure this out tomorrow. But yeah, so I'm on this journey. I think I'll talk about it some more tomorrow. And this podcast, I don't know if the pacing is good. I really don't know. I might be rambling. But I'm going to be, what I'm going to be doing periodically, right? I don't know whether I'll put out an episode every week, every few days. Probably not. Definitely not. Absolutely not every day. I need to focus on the non-podcasting stuff of things. But the intent is to put out episodes when I can share something about what I have learned, how I learned it, and what are my sources, right? I'm not going to claim to have knowledge of, I'm not the expert. I'm a student here. So that's going to be very much the intent to share my journey. But I'm adding an interesting twist to it. I am going to be introducing an AI collaborator for this podcast. And the way I'm going to be doing that is I'm going to be using a tool called NotebookLM. And I'll show you guys right now how I'm going to collaborate. So it's a pretty cool tool. It's by Google. It's free. if you have a paid Gemini subscription, then you'll get access to the Plus version, which has a few more benefits. But I'd say the free version will work for 95% of people. And here I'm gonna switch tabs. Oh, how do I do this now? Okay, I'm gonna have to edit this stuff together. Alright, let's see if I can do it this way. Oh my goodness, I suck so much at doing this right now. I'm usually good with tech. It's just I haven't actually taken the time to. I haven't done screen recording clearly in a while, so streaming and stream recording, I gotta figure that out. Or rather, streaming and video recording. So in any case, this is NotebookLM. So what you can do in NotebookLM is, the way I've developed a bit of a learning system is NotebookLM allows you to create a notebook. All right, this is the main screen, and I've got all these notebooks over here. It allows you to create a notebook. Yeah, right here. We were in this. So it allows you to create a notebook with YouTube video links. You can drag or drop PDF, text files, audio files. You can put in a website. You can add information into Google Docs or Google Slides, or you can just copy in text, and you can add all of that as a source, a data source that this tool will then use AI to understand, or rather Google's AI, Gemini, will digest that information, and then you can query that specific data. So it's great for assembling a bunch of sources that you want to learn from and put it into a notebook, and then you can ask it questions. You can do some cool things, like you can ask it to create a briefing document or a study guide, or FAQs are really good as well. So what I'm going to do, just, I'm not going to explain it to you guys right now. I'm just going to show you what I'm going to be doing maybe in some future videos, is I'm going to let NotebookLM explain it to you. So I put in 5 YouTube videos that I watched and I thought were pretty cool. I put them in here. What I'm going to do is I put them in here as sources. I'm going to generate a briefing document, and I'm going to wait for that to finish generating, and then after that I'm going to, okay, so here's the briefing document. We'll open it in a second, but I'm also going to generate what's called an audio overview. So an audio overview, you guys will see in a second, it is a podcast style AI generated overview between two personas about the content in your sources. So it's pretty cool, right? Because you can just listen to a summary of what that information is. But it's got something even cooler, which I'll show you in a second. But first, I just wanted to show you the briefing document, right? I put in 5 YouTube links, and I created a briefing document from those 5 links, which talks about main themes and key features of NotebookLM, multi-source integration, advanced features and integrations, cautions and considerations, future implications. So it's a pretty good like briefing off this. But here's the cool thing that I wanted to show you guys. NotebookLM has a beta interactive mode where you can go into this audio overview. Well, let me play the overview first, and then you'll see what I mean. All
All right, everyone, get ready, because today we are going deep on NotebookLM, and this is a big one.
It really is, yeah.
This is one that I think has the potential to change how we work, how we think.
Absolutely.
And yeah, this is going to be a fun one. So let's jump right in.
Let's do it.
So imagine, if you will, an AI that can not only just go through your data, but can actually analyze it and pull out insights.
That's right.
And it does this without making things up.
No hallucinations.
No hallucinations, and it only uses your information.
That's a big one.
That's huge, right? So we're always talking about these large language models and chatbots and things like that. And the issue with them is that they hallucinate. They make things up. They go...
So I paused it right here. What I'm going to do next is, because this isn't, the audio overview is like 20 minutes long. I didn't see the exact length, but I paused it over here because what I'm going to do next is I'm going to use this interactive feature. With the interactive feature, you can actually ask those hosts, well, just watch. I'm going to continue the audio.
Wow, and they find information from who knows where, and they kind of, oh, our listeners got something to share. Let's hear it.
Hi, could you give me a 1-minute overview of the 2 best use cases for NotebookLM?
Okay, great question. It's totally understandable to want a quick overview.
Yeah, let's unpack this really quick for you.
So if I were to boil it down to 2 main use cases, the first would be what I'd call focused knowledge retrieval.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
This is where NotebookLM really shines, using it for finding very specific answers within dense documents.
Like, think of those long manuals or legal papers that no one wants to read.
Exactly. You can just ask it a question, and it pulls the answer directly from the document.
No more endless searching.
Right. And then the second really powerful use case is what we'll call the project context engine.
Oh, yeah, this is super useful.
This is where you take all the information about a project, documents, notes, etc.
And it becomes a central hub of knowledge for the project.
You can then ask NotebookLM about key decisions, next steps, or even potential risks, all based on the data.
Yeah, it's like having a super-powered project manager. Oh, back to our listener. What's up?
Could you tell me a little bit about the audio overview and specifically the interactive beta mode?
Oh, that's a fantastic question, and it's definitely one of the coolest features.
Yeah, the audio overview is a real game changer.
Okay, let's unpack this a little bit for you.
So the basic idea is that NotebookLM can take all of your sources and turn them into a
They're
podcast.
the audio.
Yeah, it's like having a little AI summarize all of your stuff into a conversation.
Exactly. It generates a natural-sounding dialogue between 2 voices.
And it's based on all the information that you've uploaded.
Right, so instead of reading through all the documents, you can just listen to this audio overview.
Which is super helpful if you're on the go or you just want a different way to consume information.
And that leads us to the interactive beta mode, which is what you're really interested
How
in.
meta.
Yeah, this is where it gets really interesting.
So imagine you're listening to this podcast that NotebookLM created.
And you can actually interact with it in real time.
You can ask questions, you can chime in, you can even change the direction of the conversation.
Yeah, it's kind of like being on a live radio show, but it's an AI.
It's a super cool feature, and it's still in beta, which means it's still being developed.
But it's already really powerful.
It really opens up the possibility of active learning rather than just passive consumption.
All right, so I'm going to pause that over there. And yeah, so I'm going to be, my plan is to summarize, well, I'll share a little bit about how I've organized my learnings a bit tomorrow. But right now my plan is essentially to have a conversation with the NotebookLM host about specific things that I have studied and learned. And ask it questions, ask it to explain them, make sure that my understanding is correct, maybe have a bit of a conversation there. So that's the plan that's how I'm going to be sharing my learnings. And hopefully this helps people. Hopefully I don't come across as someone who's claiming to be an expert about stuff. I'm not claiming to be an expert about stuff. And I gotta improve my setup. I have a chair that just like gradually sinks lower. So you see right now I'm like higher. well, I'm higher as well. Well, not really. Well, yeah, really. And to me, that's it. That unlocks a bit of my creative side. So, and gives me a bit of the courage to actually do this. But yeah, so I'm not going to claim to be an expert. I'm going to give credit to all the sources that I study from, and hopefully, I'm guessing that there are people who can relate to this, with this meaning, looking at AI changing the world and questioning what they're going to be doing. And I don't know where this is going to go, right? I hope it's going to get to a point where I can learn something and I can build something from there. And I already have some ideas, product ideas, about what those something could be. But I'm keeping everything's wide open right now. I'm keeping all my options open. I want to learn along the way, and right now, that's the focus. Learning and periodically sharing that information. So that's all I had for this second episode. I wanted to keep it short and sweet. Hopefully I'll have another one tomorrow. Well, we'll see. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. So once again, this is the AI Dinosaur. I'm promised myself that I would not say like and subscribe. So if at any point I do build up any sort of a following, and I don't mean following like, with any negative connotation. I mean like YouTube subscriber count. It will not be because I say like and subscribe. Hopefully this helps. And see you soon.